I'm going to be honest, the main reason I truly appreciate Twilight of the Gods is because of characters like Loki. Everything about this character, from the way he looks, his action throughout the show, the way he's written and brought to life, is incredibly compelling. This version of Loki is hands down my best portrayal of the character. You know that feeling when someone is completely at peace with who they are and their purpose in life, and they just commit to being the best version of themselves? That is Loki. Loki is a god that embraced his identity and someone that grew into accepting his role in life.
I'm a beast of unburdening. I only exist so men may blame me.
Loki is the ultimate trickster god, the master of lies and chaos. He was the only character from Twilight of the Gods that orchestrated his whole plan from start to finish and saw it to completion, and also the most chaotic and unpredictable character of the show. Loki's primary goal in Twilight of the Gods is to kill Thor and Odin so he can remake the world. It's important to know why Loki holds vendetta against Thor and Odin in the first place, but before that, the reason why Loki is going with his mother's name Lofisan is because he was abused by his father as a child, so he ditched his name and took up his mother's name. Loki is someone that does not obey or follow any rules. He does what he likes in a clever and calculated way. Odin forbade Loki from having any relationship with giant folks, but guess who fell in love with a giant? Loki. He fell in love with a giant woman called Angbodha, and they had 3 children together: Finri, Yomuganda, and Hel. For some weird reasons, Loki's children all took different forms and looked nothing like him or their mother, though the kids share small traits with their parents. Finri was born as a wolf and he eventually became a giant wolf. This is obviously a trait that came from the mother's side. Yomuganda was born as a serpent, but she can also transform into a woman, which reflects Loki's shapeshifting abilities. Hel, the youngest, was the only one born in human form, but then she's with horns and she's both living and dead. That is really weird. But also, Hel shares the same skin color with Loki. These are the similarities Loki's children share with their parents. Loki's problem with Thor started at the birth of his youngest child, Hel. Right after Angbodha delivered, Thor arrived to punish Loki on behalf of Odin for having an affair with a giant woman. Thor took Loki's children and banished them to different fates. Hel was sent to the underworld, where she eventually became the ruler of the dead and evil souls. Finri was taken by Thor as a pet, and Yomuganda was cast into the sea, where she later grew so large and encircles the world with her large snake body. What I find compelling is that Loki's defiance of Odin's command against having any relationship with giants ultimately gave him powerful and unique beings as children, and despite the fact that they were banished by Thor, Loki continued to love his children and made sacrifices to protect them. That shows that Loki cares. Twilight of the Gods really brought out a humanized side of Loki with the amount of love he showed his children, and I found that to be very compelling. A prophecy declared that Ragnarok would lead to the death of the gods, and if Yomuganda were to kill Thor with the help of her sister Hel, her fate would link together with Thor's, and that would lead to the death of the sisters during Ragnarok. Loki tried to save Yomuganda by attempting to take her place instead, but the prophecy was not meant for him, so he could not save his daughter. Loki's children also hold a vendetta against Thor for separating their family. Therefore, Loki swore to kill Thor, not only to seek revenge for the banishment of his children from him, but also to prevent the prophecy and save his daughter's life. And let's be honest, Loki also seeing Thor clap Yomuganda's cheeks almost all the time is not helping matters as well. In Twilight of the Gods, Loki has no close relationship with Thor and Odin, unlike in the MCU. Here, they are portrayed as separate gods, except that Thor is Odin's son. The show stays true to the Norse mythology depiction of these characters, and I love that so much. Loki's desire to kill Odin likely stems from the fact that he ordered the punishment for his children. The one made Loki's plot to take down Thor and Odin intriguing is the clever, decideful ways he executes his plan. Loki is not just a trickster, he's a highly intelligent and strategic one. Loki's ultimate plan in Twilight of the Gods is to reignite the first war and trigger Ragnarok, a war among the gods, since that seems to be the only way he can kill Odin and remake the world. The first time we got a hint of Loki in Twilight of the Gods was when Thor came looking for him in Jotunheim. Apparently, Loki did something to anger Thor intensely, so he fled to Jotunheim and hid in form of a lizard. When Thor arrived in Jotunheim, he brutally slaughtered every giant because they couldn't provide Loki. Mind you, Loki was in lizard form and he witnessed the massacre. He did literally nothing to save the innocent giants from that ordeal, considering he was the reason Thor was there in the first place. Only Sigrid and Liv survived the massacre. Loki saw the pain in Sigrid's heart and realized that he could use Sigrid Sigrid's desire for revenge to kill Thor to his advantage before the prophecy that will claim the life of his daughter will come to pass. Loki then offered to help Sigrid kill Thor since their goals aligned. Sigrid accepted his offer and chose to trust him, but Loki had a more strategic plan. He didn't want to kill Thor himself. He knew that if a god kills another god, it wouldn't be a big deal, but if a human were to kill Thor, it would shake humanity's faith in the gods and thereby allowing Loki to remake the world. Besides, if Loki goes toe to toe with Thor, he knows he's definitely not winning the fight. Let's be real, because Thor is going to fry him. So in a quest to help Sigrid carry out her revenge against Thor, Loki sends Sigrid to seek Andvari to acquire weapons that can kill gods. Now Loki is fully aware of the costly price attached to these weapons, which is taking the bearer's souls and preventing anyone bearing the weapon from reaching Valhalla. Loki knows this because he was even who made the deal with Andvari back in the day, but he conveniently left out this information when sending Sigrid to Andvari. This guy. After Sigrid and her team acquired the weapons, Loki's grand plan to trigger Ragnarok began to unfold. Now, here is how smart Loki is. Odin sent assassins to stop Sigrid and her team before they could reach Thor. During the heat of the chase from the assassins, Sigrid called out to Loki for help, but Loki ignored her despite his promise to help her with the adventure. This was intentional. Loki wanted Sigrid to feel abandoned so she would seek help elsewhere, because Loki wants to lure them into asking for help from the Vanir gods, a group of old gods that are unworshipped and neglected. The team eventually sought help from the Vanir, but the Vanir gods saw no reason to help them, even after much pleadings. This is when Loki appeared as a worm and suggested to Sigrid to offer the Vanir gods the apple of immortality, an apple that will restore the Vanir gods' health and vitality. The Vanir gods then agreed to help, but only if they can provide the apple of immortality. What we later discovered is that Loki had a heavy influence over these apples. Long ago, Loki claimed he accidentally killed a prince in the form of an author, and to settle the matter, the prince's father demanded settlement from Asgard as ransom. Loki offered the prince's father a stolen treasure from Andvari. Unbeknownst to Loki, Andvari had cursed the treasure, so the king's son Fafnir inherited this cursed treasure when he became king, and the cursed treasure transformed him into a big dragon, and then Loki had Fafnir guard the apples of the eternal life. This is how Loki has influence over the apple. Now back to the main plot. Sigrid and her team eventually killed the big dragon that was guarding the apple of immortality, which is Fafnir, and they brought the apple to the Vanir gods, but it turns out the apple had already been poisoned by Loki, who claimed it was on Odin's orders. This development got the Vanir gods enraged, and they had no choice but to declare war on the Aesir gods, which includes Thor and Odin. Now you can see how Loki's plans are working for him. He has successfully set Sigrid against Thor and the Vanir gods against the Aesir gods, so a potential Ragnarok that would lead to the death of the gods awaits, and this is going to give Loki the opportunity to remake the world. Loki carefully planned everything that would lead to this moment way back in the day, from provoking Thor to seeking refuge in Jotunheim to getting Sigrid to kill Thor and orchestrating every event that led to Ragnarok. Every move was calculated because in the beginning of the show we saw Loki listening to Sigrid and her dad's conversation. I want to believe he purposely came to Jotunheim so he can lure Thor to come and wipe out the giant folks in order to drive Sigrid mad to seek revenge, and then in the process do his bidding, which is killing Thor while he stands and watch. This man saw all that happened to the giant folks. He knew he was the reason for it, yet he didn't offer any help to the situation, but he skillfully feigned concern for Sigrid and her feelings and made sure to get that beast out of Sigrid. And the worst part is that if this didn't go as he planned, he would have orchestrated other means.
But if she fails...
If she fails, we'll find another.
Loki also orchestrated the whole pitching of the Vanir gods against the Aesir gods by ignoring Sigrid's call for help, which lured her into seeking help from the Vanir gods. He manipulated Andvari and Fafnir and poisoned the apple to incite war, but he claimed it was on Odin's order. Oh, Loki, you rotten hell. Why I like Loki is because he's a patient go-getter when it comes to achieving what he wants. Loki can set his plan in motion and willingly wait 1,000 years to see them accomplished. A perfect example of this is the story of Fafnir. Loki had it all set all these while, waiting for the right moment to unleash his plan and eventually kill off Fafnir and Andvari. Loki took Andvari out when he tried to seek revenge on him for stealing his treasures back in the day. The killing Andvari completed him taking out the 3 dwarf friends. He took out the first one in an otter form, butchered Fafnir by influencing Leaf to do it, and then squashed Andvari's head. Bro is sick. This is the only downside to Loki's damning spirit. He's willing to kill for it because he genocided the whole Jotunheim and killed the 3 dwarves just so his plan can come to pass. Loki is a smart god with great powers and abilities that helped him carry out his schemes. As a god, Loki possesses all the attributes of one, such as increased strength, speed, and immortality. He can't die of natural causes. Loki's standard ability in Twilight of the Gods is shapeshifting. Loki can transform into any animal or human being. This ability is like his favorite because he uses it most of the time, and it saved him many times as well, especially when Thor came looking for him in Jotunheim. Loki can teleport anywhere he wants within the 9 realms. This ability also added another interesting layer to his cunning nature. After watching Twilight of the Gods, I fell in love with how well Loki's character was written. This was my first introduction to this version of Loki from the Norse mythology, and I'm happy to have come across this Loki because bro surprised me with how great he was. If you made it to this level of the video, you are the real MVP. I really appreciate you watching my videos. Please like this video because it's going to help more people see the video. Subscribe to the channel as well because why not? And let me know down in the comments what you think about this Loki from Twilight of the Gods. I will see you guys in my next video. I'm out of here.